Yo, so last year I was invited down to Duke University to give a keynote speech for Juneteenth. Honestly, I was pleasantly surprised that they were celebrating Juneteenth. But I just want to share with you one thing that I share with the people at Duke, which is whenever I have to look at my bio, if I'm sending it out for a speaking engagement, or for example, right now I'm having to send it out with my film when I'm submitting it for festivals. I glance at it, make sure it's good, like it says what I want it to say. But then what I end up focusing on is just the spaces in between each word, between each sentence, between each highlight and achievement, where my people have shown up for me. I mean, to make it through West Point, a deployment to Iraq, figuring out how to get to business school, navigate Wall Street during the financial crisis, finding my vocation, my calling as a creative, teaching at Rikers, having the opportunity to work with Kenny Leon, Blair Underwood, David Allen Greer, Denzel, Jake Gyllenhaal, Ezra Knight, Lisa Jesse Peterson, to be able to make a film. All of that happened because of the people that showed up in between the lines. Because in between the lines of the bio is where the struggle exists, the doubt exists. Those were the moments when I questioned myself, when shit just wasn't coming together and someone either said an uplifting word or helped to guide my steps. So I get a lot of joy from remembering those people and celebrating them. But you know what it also does? Looking in between the lines and in between the words, it helps to keep the ego in check. Because sometimes you can start to believe it's all you, or I'll speak for myself. Sometimes I can start to believe that it's all me. And that's when you can get in a situation where, as my wife would say, you're playing yourself. But yeah, maybe you want to take a look at your biography or sit with your highlights, your achievements, and just think about the people in between those moments who showed up for you when the lights weren't shining so bright and you were struggling to put the pieces together. I'm not saying don't recognize and celebrate your own greatness, but just know sometimes people are in rooms that you're not in helping to elevate. Or sometimes you know they're there. I wish I had an orange tree, but I'm in Brooklyn. So anybody want to see a rat? Hold on. So again, be aware of your power, be aware of your gifts and your talents, and also know it ain't just you. If it works out, when you are elevated, when the pieces start coming together, it's the people in between the lines. It's not just you. You didn't do it by yourself. I know that's sometimes a narrative that sounds good when we're telling it to other people or when we're telling it to ourselves, but we didn't do it by ourselves. I didn't do it by myself. You didn't do it by yourself, and that's okay. It kind of makes me think of a Buddhist principle that I read in this book written by Thich Nhat Hanh called Old Path, White Cloud, where he writes on the law of dependent co-arising. There is an interconnectedness to us all. Nothing can exist on its own. And I think that interconnectedness is what's special about us. So, I don't know, stay down like 4 flats.